Hi. So it is like 3 in the morning, and for like the last 2 weeks, I've seen 3 o'clock in the morning every night. It feels like the nighttime is the worst. I talk to people all day long during the day, but I don't know, after a certain time everybody goes to bed. And it sucks because I feel like I'm a burden to anybody. And I don't know, nighttime just sucks. So I needed to talk to someone. I needed to talk out loud about what's going on. And I don't know, I know this is really choppy and out of the blue, spur of the moment kind of thing, but nighttime sucks because every time I try to go to sleep, as soon as I start to fall asleep, like, my whole body almost like tenses up, and I find myself like bobbing my feet, so I won't go to sleep, because as soon as I start to fall asleep, it's not that like drifting off, peaceful falling asleep. It's fucking seeing it all over again, seeing the look on his face whenever he came at me from across the room and grabbed my head and slammed me into a wall. And every time I start to fall asleep, I hear myself whimpering and shrieking, and then it wakes me up. I haven't really talked much about what actually led to my incident. And I don't even remember that night what we were really fighting about. We had been fighting like every day for a week. But right before he attacked me, I calmly said, I think I'm just gonna go stay at my mom's tonight before things get out of hand. And I was sitting on the bed, and I was packing a few things to take with me. And all of a sudden he comes across the bed at me and starts slamming my head into the wall, and I screamed his name, trying to bring him back from the place he was at. Because that week I had done a really good job at any time he got upset, calming him down and bringing him back. And in the process, my head hit the wood on the bed, and that's, I don't know, you can kind of see the bruising still around my eye. And then he grabbed my hair, and then I was down on the ground in a ball, and he started punching me in the stomach, and I don't know, maybe he kicked me. I honestly don't know. But after everything happened, he hit my head so hard in the back, and maybe I even hit my nose, I don't know, but before I called my mom or the police, I cleaned up the blood that was coming out of my nose, and I called my mom first, and I said, I really need you to come get me. Jeremy just beat the crap out of me, he just left. And immediately, I'm sure she just hopped in the car and came right there. But I was terrified that he would show back up before she did. And the only thing I thought in my mind was, he's gonna beat the crap out of my mother too. So I called the police and I let them know what happened, and they had 2 police officers there. The 911 operator was amazing. She stayed on the phone with me the entire time because the police had a little bit of trouble finding my apartment. And he showed back up before my mom got there. And the police were there ready to arrest him, and I watched him get arrested. And even afterwards, when the police came back in, I was still trying to protect him, and I was like, I didn't mean for him to get arrested. I just wanted to get out of here safely. you know, what really pisses me off about the whole situation is that for a week after that, I was still trying to protect him and defend him. I still felt like I answered to him. I still told him where I was going and what I was doing, because I was afraid not to answer him. He called me from jail that night 8 times, and I was still apologizing. It just makes me sick. Everything that I went through over the last year, I still can't believe half of it. I still find myself telling me that a lot of it was my fault, because that's what I was conditioned to really honestly believe. I've had headaches and dizziness ever since my attack. I didn't go to the hospital afterwards because I was afraid that would get him in more trouble. Which is sad, because I was protecting someone who was abusing me every single day. But what makes me even more mad is this didn't have to happen to me. I found out after being in my relationship with Jeremy that he had problems before me. And he told me, that he was gonna do this to me, but I believed that he loved me enough not to do it. But he was with his ex-wife for 8 years and abused her, and he punched her arm and broke it. He pushed her, he shoved her, he yelled at her, and she got it a whole lot worse than I did. But she never once called the police. She never once told anyone what was happening to her. And as much as, I want to be angry at her, I can't be, because I'm right where she was. But anybody who's been abused or who's being abused, you have to speak up. You have to tell people what's going on. You have to go to your court hearings. You have to make sure that they're held accountable. So this can't happen again. This is a man he still works for the school corporation, because he is protected and because he's innocent until proven guilty. He's going to plead not guilty, and he's going to force me to come in a court of law and testify as to what happened to me over the last year, with freaking bruises still on my face. And he is guilty. But when I asked him if he was going to plead guilty or not guilty, he said, "I don't want a violent crime on my record. How can you want that for me either?" But he is a violent criminal. He abused his ex-wife for 8 years. He abused me for 2 years, and God knows who else in between there. And if he doesn't get punished, if he doesn't get penalized, if he just gets a slap on the wrist and let out to go and do this again to whoever's after me, if he doesn't have a violent crime on his record that people can look up and find out who this person really is that they're about to fall in love with, the cycle is going to continue, and that's not okay. It's not okay for any of them. It's not okay for anyone who's ever abused anyone just to get away with this. And to force us, whether we have an advocate or not, whether we have someone standing up there with us in court or not, it's still our story that has to be told. It's still us that has to relive it every single day, let alone in a courtroom across from our abuser. And that pisses me off. He's admitted time and time and time again that he's guilty. I didn't even mean for this blog to go here. At nighttime is when I think about all this stuff, and it's the only time that I'm really alone, and I know that I'm never alone. Nighttime is just so hard. All I want to do is sleep. All I want to do is shut my eyes and go to bed, and I just want to not sleep the day away tomorrow. because I couldn't sleep tonight because it's dark outside and because I'm alone and because I'm scared. Because I don't want to see it again every time I close my eyes. And I know it's gonna be okay. I know tomorrow's gonna be better. And I know the day after that is gonna be better. And every day after that except October 6th. When I have to go to court and sit across. And I know things have to get better because they can't be any worse. Anyways, I needed to get some stuff off my chest. Because nighttime is horrible. I'm really looking forward to seeing some friends this week because I haven't seen anyone. I've hardly left the house. I just need to feel back to me again. I need me back. I need my life back. I need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes I do, and then other times I'm just pulled right back. Right there again. Anyways, thanks for listening. And I'll have more tomorrow.